All right, what is up, everybody? It's Tony with Inc. Michigan Realty, and today we are going to dive into content fundamentals. This is our third week on digital marketing. We got some awesome info for you guys, a cool Instagram hack halfway through. But first off, I'm going to pass it on to my man David over at Union Home to give us a market update on the lending side of things. David, we appreciate you joining us today. Keep us posted, man. What's going on out there?
As you guys probably now, nobody. Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for having me first. If you guys are paying attention to the news, you guys are seeing that all 50 states are starting to reopen. So with COVID-19, as fast as it came and hit all of us in the industry and changes that were happening so quickly with funding pulling away, guidelines changing, restrictions being put into place, we're starting to see a new lax in everything that happened. So as quickly as these new rules came in, as fast as we're starting to see them leave. Some lenders were lending at a 700 credit score, 20% down. We just got the green light as of yesterday. We are now to a 620 on our FHA loans as well as our conventional loans. So everything I'm saying here is related to my company. So, and another lending institution might be different, but I'm starting to see it industry-wide. So the big news I have today for you guys as realtors is that as of June 2nd, the new rules regarding forbearances are coming into play. So some individuals have been put into forbearance and don't even know it, and they're still making their payments. Those individuals are going to be completely fine to buy new homes. Individuals that find a new house while their loan is in forbearance and they decide to pay back the money that they owe. So let's just say they went in forbearance for 3 months, they pay all that money back, they're good to buy a new house. However, the lending professionals are going to want to know where that money came from that they used to pay that house back. So we're going to have to source their account. So when you guys are talking to your clients and you ask them if their loan's in forbearance, have them get clean and paid up with that loan prior to going into the lending process and making application on a home. It's going to make their lives easier and your guys' lives easier. Lastly, if an individual reinstates their loan and reassesses that forbearance, meaning that they didn't bring all that money up front and pay it back, they're going to have 3 months of clean payment history before you guys can get them into a new house. So we as lenders are going to need to see that they've made 3 consecutive payments on time for them to be able to buy. Lastly, regarding everybody going back to work, everyone's going to be doing this differently. So I'm going to give you just a little brief way that we're doing it. We are going to be requiring full verifications of employment that the individual that went back to work is going to be making the exact same amount of money and working the same hours. That's our biggest one. If they started a new job, so let's just say they got let go because of COVID, we're going to just need a 30-day pay stub showing that they're back to work. So biggest takeaway I want you guys to have is talk to your clients, ask them to check with their lenders if their loan is in forbearance. Because some lending institutions are just putting people's loans in forbearance and they don't even know. So they're still making the payments on time, but it's something that you guys need to be aware of as realtors. And that's kind of my tip for the day.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Hey, quick question. So with that, you said 30 days on a new job. Does that job have to be in the same field as their last job?
If they're going from a W-2 employee to a W-2 employee, not being self-employed, so an hourly or salary, as long as they are making more money or equal to money, it's not going to be an issue. If they're going down, we're going to probably have to re-look at the scenario.
Got it. Now, what about people that are back to work and, they were supposed to close on stuff during COVID. Now they're back to work. What kind of turnaround can we expect on something like that? Are we going to have to wait a few weeks till things are rolling and they get pay stubs, or is it something that they can make happen right away?
I think there's going to be a little slowdown because it actually depends on the size of the company that the individual works for. So we're going to reach out to them and want to get a written verification of employment, getting the exact term that they're working, how many hours, making sure it's consistent. So if they're at a bigger company and their HR is going to be swamped with all these now verification of employments coming in, it could be a week turnaround time, and I very well could see that happening.
That's good to know. Good to know. Well, I appreciate it, David. Always giving us some gems. Thanks for being part of us, man.
My pleasure.
Next, we got associate broker Ryan Milo coming in hot, Inc. Michigan.
Ooh. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Hump Day.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? So I guess we're talking about Facebook today and the content that we put in there. I do know that there's over 2 billion people, who are on Facebook, but more importantly, 1 billion plus visit Facebook daily. So it's important to know for content what we put in there, what our post should say. I always mix mine up a little bit. I do a lot of cooking, so I do some real estate, then a lot of cooking. The others do a lot of real estate and a little bit of the personal life, and that's okay. There is a formula for that, but there's no set formula. I'm sure Chris is going to go in deeper with that. I know that your posts, if you're doing business posts, they shouldn't be aggressive. They shouldn't be emotional or passive. Can't be too vague. Have to be somewhat spot on and not pushy at all. I'm not good at posts for real estate. Usually I wait for one of my team members to make the post on one of our listings or my listing, and then I share it to my page, actually, because it's already on our other page. Other than that, I think I do more personal posts, and that really attracts a lot of my past clients because they want to see what I'm doing constantly, and they're like, how do you have enough time to cook? And I'm like, well, let me show you. Let me whip this up for you. But that's it. Facebook is a good way to keep in touch with your clients and just make them, reassure them that you're still out there and working. And that's pretty much it. From here, I'm going to send it off to Chris.
Send it off to me.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that always. Real quick, before we dive into Facebook content with Chris, I'm going to give you guys the Instagram hack of the week. This one's pretty cool. So whenever you're posting a story on Instagram, it's good to let your audience know what your brand is, what your company logo is, if it stands out. So what I'm going to show you guys how to do is how to quickly throw in your logo on any story that you do, just with a quick copy and paste method. What you're going to want to do is have your logo in your photo album already. I'm going to screen share my phone to show you guys how to do this real quick, but it's super cool to do just to let your audience get engaged, and that way they always recognize that brand and that logo. Let's see here. There we go. Hopefully my nudes don't pop up in my photo album. So when you're on Instagram, when you go to do a story, you could do a quick post, bam. You take your picture. Then what you're going to do is if you're on an iPhone, you're going to swipe up, you're going to go to your photo album. And once you're in that album, you click the picture that you want and you just simply copy and paste it. It's super easy to do. You copy the photo. You then go back to your story on Instagram and it shows up right there. Super easy to do, takes 2 seconds. You can put anything on there, but like I said, it's really good, to let people know what your brand is, what your logo is. Takes 2 seconds to do. And on your Instagram stories, you should be posting at least 3 to 5 posts on your story daily to get that algorithm up and, to really gauge that audience. So that's the tip of the week. I hope you guys use it. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to the marketing guru, Chris. Let's hear it, man.
Hey guys, thanks David, Ryan, and Tony for what you guys have shared so far. So today I'm going to do a screen share and we're actually going to go through a little keynote presentation. But what we're talking about today is going to be the fundamentals of Facebook. So before we start making any actual content, we need to understand what sort of content we should be making. And that's kind of what we're going to touch on today. So give me just a minute here and I'm going to share a screen with you guys. All right, so like I said, week 3 is going to be on content fundamentals, and this isn't only going to apply to Facebook, but it's also going to apply to any form of content out there. So YouTube is going to be content, a weekly email is going to be content, Google Business Post is going to be content. I mean, any form of getting your business out there is realistically going to be considered content. So what we're going to cover today is going to be the different types of content, the strategy that we're going to use with this content, and what sort of value we are giving to our clients by giving them this content. And then we're going to take a look at the beliefs, why and what somebody believes is going to govern every, not only decision they make, but everything that they do in life. And then we're going to look at 5 different categories that these content or these posts are going to fall in, and when we should use each one and what those are going to do to our potential clients. And then we're going to take a look at the vehicle, which is going to be us, whoever is presenting the content, the internal, the external, philosophical, and promotional content. So these are going to be kind of the different categories of the content, what those are going to look like, and what we should take into consideration when we're making content from any one of those 5 categories. And then tools to use to build certain beliefs. And then again, kind of similar to last week, I'm going to send you guys home with a document that's going to be a little bit of homework that's going to help you guys understand this a little better and understand where you should be coming from with all of your content. So the content strategy, I mean, after myself and the marketing genius that kind of taught me everything I know, after looking through the different Facebook profiles, Instagram profiles out there, if you guys truly understand and act off of what we're teaching you in this digital marketing course, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to be in the top 1% of realtors as far as a long-term game plan goes. So we live in a world of content. I mean, people like Gary Vee have absolutely proven this. I mean, how many followers does somebody like Gary Vee has? And all he does is goes on stage, speaks from his heart, and says fuck a lot. And the dude is extremely popular. The post I liked last night of him had 95,000 likes on it. I mean, and all he does is goes up there and is 100% himself, but he produces content on a regular, consistent basis and does so a lot more frequently than anybody else does. So kind of to backtrack and talk a little bit about what Ryan was mentioning, so some more statistics about content. Adults in America spend 11 hours per day listening to, watching, or interacting with media of some sort. And I know for myself, it's watching videos of Gary Vee, watching different real estate videos. I mean, there's a ton of content out there, and we spend 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, an hour here watching this content. And like, that's an incredible statistic, over 11 hours per day listening to content. But us in the real estate industry, we're refusing to adapt and change and start creating more content on a regular basis. So that's something we really need to get behind. So according to the 2018 Nielsen Total Audience Report, nearly half of an adult's day is dedicated to consuming content. So again, a really powerful statistic there. The average person spends 2 hours and 22 minutes on social media every single day, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform it is. It's a huge opportunity for us. What do they do on social media? Again, they consume content, guys. I mean, everything is about creating content. I mean, creating content at scale gives us such a potential for long-term to create not only clients, but friends and lasting relationships. And that's incredible. So different types of content. So I kind of briefly touched on this. We've got our social media posts, written posts, live Facebook videos, Instagram stories. We could also do things like podcasts, emails. So like I mentioned before, we do a weekly email that we send out every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Our clients, our prospects expect this email on a regular basis. And that's another type of content. Blogs and articles. So this is something that we've gotten a little heavier into recently, trying to build that SEO, but creating a blog on your website that is 100% unique. It's not something that you're just taking from another blog post and sharing it to your own. That's going to help increase the exposure of your brand. Educational videos on websites, whether it's your own website. So again, back to the blogs, we post most of our videos also go onto our blog. That way it's centered on our website as well as YouTube, Facebook, and whatever other channels we put it on. And then we've got lead magnets. So PDFs, reports, white papers, anything that we are offering to our clients of value, maybe a buyer's guide, a seller's guide, anything like that. Again, that's going to be a form of content. So it's not a magic pill. It's just a strategy, and a strategy that we've got to do effectively for it to have the proper results. And it's not it's not to make 2 pieces of content a month, guys. It's something that we need to do consistently. And at the beginning, we're going to need to create a lot more content than we are when we get longer, a little further into it. So it needs to become a part of the way you do business, much like you hitting the phones and calling clients. I mean, adapt, change with the times, and start creating content to attract those prospects as well. Obviously, like I mentioned in the previous week, cold calling still has a place, but it should be done in a different way. And content should also be something that is part of your regular day. I mean, try and shoot to do 4 posts a day, make that a goal. And I mean, if you don't hit it, that's okay. But if you're striving to create 4 posts a day, I'm pretty sure you're going to at least make 1 post every single day. And consistency. I mean, that's the number one thing. Make sure you're consistent with it. Don't start it and then give up on it. Once you have the right assets, so the long-term goal, once you have the right assets in place and you're scaling with ads, you're not going to need to do as much content per day to keep that brand awareness up, because you've already got these assets in place with money behind them that are constantly going in front of other individuals. But with that being said, I mean, we still do 2 to 3 videos per week, as well as generally 2 to 4 posts every single day on Facebook, as well as other platforms out there. Google Business is a huge one that we've kind of been exploring recently that a lot of people don't take advantage of, making these Google Business posts to help with your SEO reach on Google itself. And we are seeing a lot more people end up at our website because of that. So a quote from Tony Robbins here. Give me 1 sec to minimize my participants. Okay, so you build a brand by becoming the most respected expert in the area. And the way you do that is your marketing has to be value-added marketing. It can't be interruptive marketing anymore. Nobody responds. 20 years ago, it took 4 impressions to convert a prospect into a buyer. Now, and this was written in 2018, it's 16. You can't build a brand without being the giver that's putting out helpful information. And honestly, guys, that number of 16, that's going to probably be a little closer to 20, 25 now, the number of impressions it takes to really gain a client. And I mean, like it says, value added marketing. I mean, interruptive marketing was something that was done in the past that was really effective. And a lot of people were very successful based off of that, but times have changed and we need to understand that. And we need to start getting value added marketing in front of our audience and do so regularly so that we can hit that 20, 25 number of the number of impressions it takes to really win over that client. And in the long run, I mean, the content strategy, it is going to completely dominate everything. I mean, like I said, short term, cold calling may be extremely effective, but in the long run, I mean, cold calling with the way most people do it, it's not something that leaves the best taste in individuals' mouths, where creating content where you're giving people value is going to be something that people are going to remember you by. It's really going to show them who you and your brand are, and it's going to create a lasting impression that's going to send you a ton of referrals and long-term business. So this triangle here is going to be very, very effective here. So majority of real estate agents are going to focus on that top 3%, the people that are ready to purchase, the people that are on Zillow currently shopping, and majority of agents are fighting over that very small sliver. But there's another 97% in this triangle of individuals that are going to eventually buy a home, and nobody's really focusing on this very heavily. And this is kind of where that content play comes into mind. I mean, us creating content on a long-term basis is going to win over these people that don't think they're interested now, not thinking about it currently, or they're open to buying but not necessarily looking quite yet. These people are going to see this content, and by the time they make a decision that they are ready to buy or sell a home, they are going to be so sold on us as a brand that it's not going to be a situation where we end up at a listing presentation and we're fighting with 4 other agents. They've already made the decision to work with us before we walked in that door. And that is extremely powerful. This is actually a question that came up recently to me as far as how my listing presentations go. And honestly, we're starting to see this in our brand. I mean, our brand is still pretty young, but majority of listing presentations that I go on, I don't have many objections that I have to fight, because when I walk in that door, they've already made a decision to work with us because of what they've seen long-term out of us. And that's incredibly powerful. So some different ways to give value. I mean, value comes in two parts. We can provide people with some information, or we can entertain people. And we kind of try to do the best of both worlds with that. I mean, for anyone that's seen any of my videos, I'm absolutely ridiculous on video, and that's kind of the entertainment side of things, and me being 100% me. But the biggest value that we can give someone is giving them an internal transformation from consuming your content. So taking them from a place where they feel a certain way about something internally and shifting the way that they feel about that. And this is why Gary Vee is so popular. He gives these internal shifts and confidence builders to his audience on a very regular basis. I mean, he throws things out there that completely change the way somebody feels about what their potential is. He does this on a very regular basis. I mean, you can go to his Instagram or his Facebook page, and it's constantly reassuring people that even at 60 years old, they can still become extremely successful if they just give it their all and work hard and be 100% their true self. So it's your duty to give people the right mental shifts that they need in order to get past the resistance. And a lot of what we're going to talk about today and in the coming weeks is going to help you guys do this, as well as the homework assignment that we're going to send you guys home with. So the more customer-centric your content is, so the more that these posts relate to the individuals that are consuming them as opposed to your brand or your company, the more success you're going to have with. So let's try and keep the talking about your new business cards, talking about the new office. These things we want to keep, we want to keep out there, but we don't want to do that so heavily that we're turning people off. We want to focus more on them and their needs and how we can help them reach their goals. So beliefs, how people, or what people's beliefs are. Yes?
Can you let Sophie in, please? Thank you.
Yep, 1 second. Okay, so back to beliefs. Beliefs govern everything we do. I kind of mentioned this earlier. So the reason that people do anything that they do in life is because of their beliefs. So it's why people go to church on Sundays. It's why some people get up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. It's why some people read a book instead of watch TV. It's why some people buy or sell their home with you. So, I mean, people's beliefs, it's something that we definitely have to understand, and we have to learn how to effectively market our brand and ourselves to them and their beliefs. So beliefs, doing things that other people aren't willing to do, will make me successful and help me achieve all of my dreams and desires. So somebody may wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym because they have this particular belief, and the outcome of this is they're going to become more healthy, more fit, and likely more successful. Example number 2, life is all about enjoying yourself as much as possible at all times, and the pursuit of my pleasure is my highest priority. So some actions they may take here is indulge in unhealthy food, alcohol, drugs, and never exercise, and their outcome here is going to be unhappy, unhealthy, and more likely to die sooner. So what beliefs must people have in order to get in touch with you as a real estate agent? This is something that we have to help shape. So their beliefs may be the vehicle, their internal, their external, or their philosophical beliefs. And the action they're going to take is contacting you to buy or sell. And the outcome is going to be them reaching their home buying or selling goals and having an experience that is going to be a wonderful, happy experience. So the content goal is to create content that is engineering belief. It's about giving people those mental shifts that we talked about before. Basically, in order to give those mental shifts, you're going to need to exchange value with them and help create those mental shifts within a person that's going to make them comfortable with working with you. So the value is going to be opting in for a lead magnet, book an appointment with you, give you a call or message, and basically reach out to you for your professional assistance. And that's going to come from all of these value-added content that you're going to put in front of them. So you must ask yourself, what's going to hold them back? What false beliefs do they hold? And this is something, the homework that I'm going to send you guys home with is really going to help you guys understand what those false beliefs are and how you can shift that mindset. And then through your content, hold up a mirror and show them your total willingness to help them with those false beliefs and help them reach their goals. So again, the 5 different content categories: the vehicle, which is going to be you, whoever's producing the content; Internal is going to be how they're feeling within themselves. External is going to be anything that's circumstantial. Philosophical is going to be their view on the world. And then promotional desires, this can be things such as just listed, just sold, content in that sort of matter. And the goal is to give people those right mental shifts in all of these categories, or whichever categories are going to be most effective for you and your brand. So how we're going to create content: people have beliefs about the vehicle, about themselves, about their circumstances, and are influenced by philosophy, desire, and fear of loss. So first, we're going to identify all of those false beliefs, and we're going to basically break down those false beliefs and help them shift that mindset. So we're going to put together that list into 4 main elements, and then we're going to help them contact you. We're going to create content that helps people have those mental shifts about themselves and about their circumstances, so that they do take action, they do reach out to you, they do book an appointment with you as a real estate professional. So first, we're going to talk about the vehicle. So before any of your other content is effective, people must trust and respect you. I mean, honesty and trust are such huge staples in our industry. I mean, this is unfortunately an industry that most people have lost all trust for us as real estate professionals, and they feel that we are just kind of out for that paycheck. And honestly, I mean, a lot of us guys are. There are a ton of agents out there that the only thing they care about is that paycheck, and that's why we've kind of gotten the bad rep that we've got. So another quote here I wanted to read: trust impacts us 24/7, 365 days a year. It undergirds and affects the quality of every relationship, every communication, every work project, every business venture, every effort in which we are engaged. Contrary to what most people believe, trust is not some soft, elusive quality that you either have or you don't. Rather, trust is a pragmatic, tangible, actionable asset that you can create much faster than you think possible. I'm also convinced in every situation, nothing is as fast as the speed of trust. And contrary to popular belief, trust is something you can do something about. In fact, you can get good at creating it. And this is something that we've been able to do within our brand, and something that is so possible for each and every one of you if you start putting the right content out there that allows your clients and prospects to start building trust within you. So 5 different elements of trust are going to be integrity, doing the right things when no one's looking, keeping comments to yourself, doing what you say you're going to do. Intent, the motive or agenda behind your actions. Consistency in your behavior when it comes to content creation, your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And then honesty, complete transparency and radical honesty at all times, even when it doesn't benefit you. So if it's not the right time for your client to sell, don't tell them it's the right time for your client to sell. Be 100% honest and transparent with them, and you're going to build trust. And in the long game, this is going to be such a benefit to you guys. I mean, yeah, you might lose a sale here or there, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're in this for the long haul. Fifth element of trust: capabilities, your skill set, results, and proven track record. And you'll see this is found at the bottom of this list, because honestly, guys, honesty, consistency, intent, and integrity goes a lot further than your skill set does. I mean, having those 4 items and then throwing your skill set on top of it is extremely powerful. So the vehicle.
Hey, Chris, will you let Nikki back in now?
What's that?
She got kicked out when. Will you let Nikki back in? She got kicked out when Sophie came in. I wrote in the chat, but it didn't work, I guess.
Yeah, no, I can't see any of the chats when I'm presenting this. I've got this on full screen. Thank you, Nikki, or Coley. Nikki's in. Okay, so the vehicle. People have false beliefs about realtors. I kind of mentioned this previously. I mean, most people think we're some shysters. And this is something that unfortunately we do have to overcome. So utility of a realtor, I mean, what we really are. I mean, many people out there think that we are just somebody who is the holder of a key, just lets them into a house to see this house, and why do they really need us? But at the end of the day, most real estate agents, I think, can kind of stand behind the point that we're psychologists at the end of the day. I mean, we provide a lot of emotional support that may not be in our job title, but it is definitely something that we do. We are somebody who guides them through this entire process, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. We need to help people understand what our job actually is and what we actually do for them. Timing. At what point do we need to get in touch with these people where it's going to be effective both for us and for them? Skill set. FSBOs versus realtor, digital versus old, negotiation, market knowledge, the real difference between different realtors. So there's a ton of different realtors out there, and everyone is selling themselves in a different way. And we need to show our prospects and our clients what it is, what our skill set is that makes us different from everyone else. So us at Inked Michigan Realty, it's going to be the digital marketing, and it's going to be the fact that we focus on building relationships with our clients and treating our clients like they're our friends. Values, honesty, integrity, and intent, coming right back to that. And then personal differentiation, how we're different than any other realtors out there. I mean, if you feel that most realtors in your market are assholes and you're a way better person than them, maybe express that in some way. Maybe don't call other realtors in your area assholes, but show how you're different than other realtors in your particular area. So some of the false beliefs, again, are all realtors are not to be trusted because they'll say and do anything to get your listing. And we know that this is very true in our industry. And while it could be very easy to say, you know, like, I'm completely different than that. Most realtors are assholes and you can't trust them. We want to approach this lightly. We don't want to go out there and say that all realtors are not to be trusted. Definitely use something that's more most realtors, and sell yourself as opposed to bashing other realtors in the industry. And then give some powerful beliefs about yourself. You're honest. You're always going to be 100% honest with them, even when it's not beneficial to you. Your intention, your biggest priority is helping them with what they do and what's in their best interest, not yours. Your integrity, that you'll do everything you say you'll do. Your capabilities, you're a market expert, sales expert, negotiation expert, digital marketing expert, a guide and a leader, and you produce results. Timing, that the best time to get in touch with you is as soon as possible, even if they're months out from buying or selling, so that you can help guide them in the right direction. Maybe they need to reach out to that lender to clear up a few things before they're ready to buy or sell. You're more than just a realtor. You do more than just sell homes. I mean, back to that emotional support. I mean, this process is a roller coaster ride, and a lot of people don't understand that you are essentially a psychologist along the way. I mean, I had a past client who was going through a divorce while I was selling him his first home. And me and him became really close friends, and I was able to kind of help him with that side of things as well, even though I'm just a realtor. I mean, that's something that I'm not going to say unfortunately, because I enjoy being more than just a realtor to my clients, but it's something that we have that's above and beyond what our title says we do. Empathetic, that you truly care about them as people and friends. And that kind of goes right back to that story that I just told. And then your mission, that when they work with you, they're part of a bigger mission. So us here at Inked Michigan Realty, we've got this saying, the new look of real estate. And what that means to us is we're trying to push real estate into the 21st century. We're trying to help show people that we're not all the same, that real estate agents don't necessarily have to be these people that you think they are. We don't have to have this preconceived notion that we do nothing and make way too much money for doing nothing. So that's a mission that we're on, to try and show the world that real estate agents are more than what they believe we are. Caring, that you care about the community you're selling property in. So if you have a particular area that you do most of your business in, do something in that community to make yourself stand out and show that you truly do care about that area. For us, I mean, we kind of started everything in Pontiac, and now we've got an office in Shelby, but we're still very, very involved in the city of Pontiac because, you know, that's where we started, and that'll always be something that we stand behind. And then powerful beliefs about realtors. So the skills that matter and what to really look for in a realtor. And if you're not the best fit for somebody, tell them that. Not all realtors are created equal. So like doctors, realtors are different. We all produce different results, and we all bring different things to the table. And realtors are needed. I mean, there's a reason why so many for sale by owners fail. It's not as easy as a lot of people think. So educating people about that is pretty beneficial to them. And then we've got the internal conflicts. So the pillars of influence here, we're going to teach people how to think. Ask yourself how you'd like your audience to think about themselves, other people, and the world at large, and then communicate it to them on a consistent basis, guys. Challenge people to grow, give them the inspiration and motivation to challenge themselves, their comfort zones, and take action. This is, again, something that Gary Vee does so well. He inspires and motivates everyone, and there are 95,000 people that liked his last post within the first 24 hours. I mean, that's incredible. Role model the way. Ask yourself and demonstrate constantly, how can I handle this situation in a way that will inspire others to believe in themselves, be their best, and live a better life? So For me, I mean, I do try to produce a lot of inspirational content that a lot of people may look at and laugh, but at the end of the day, I mean, during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, I mean, people seeing something that's inspiring in a community that's so full of negativity right now is so beneficial. And I mean, there needs to be more people out there doing things like that to keep people's spirits up. And then powerful beliefs about themselves, the ability that they can handle the process of selling their home and buying a new one. It's not as terrible as many people think it is. Fear that if they're afraid, this is normal and a natural thing to overcome, that a lot of people are fearful when going into this, and that fear is something that cripples majority of individuals, and that it's something that we can work to get over. Challenges, that they can overcome any and all challenges that will be present in the journey. There are a lot of problems that can arise during a real estate transaction, but when you're working with the correct real estate agent, it's very easy to navigate these items. Wishes, that buying and selling a home is in fact something that they want to do and that it is going to benefit them long term. And then identity, how amazing are they going to feel about themselves and their life once they're in a new home? I mean, for most of you guys out there, when you bought your first home, what kind of feeling overcame you when you successfully closed on that home? I know for me, I mean, it was a life-changing moment. So inspire, motivate, and empower your clients. And then external beliefs. So we're going to look at powerful beliefs about their situation, the timing, that the best time to buy or sell really is now. And if it's not, don't tell them it's the best time to buy or sell. Look at all of your clients on a case-by-case scenario, explore their unique situation, and help them come to a decision on whether it is the right time to buy or sell. Stop just telling them it's always the best time to sell. Money, that they have mortgage options with a down payment that could suit their budget. I mean, get them in contact with different mortgage lenders, have them explore those options and see that they can truly afford to buy a house, and that it may actually save them money versus renting. And then right into rent, that they can get a home for the same or less than the amount they're renting for. Time, that they wouldn't need to take much time off work to sacrifice or make this big move. I mean, this is something that, especially, I mean, as people have adapted to this whole virtual world in the last few months here, I mean, it's something that we can do consultations via a Zoom call. We can do a lot of this without ever having to take time away from work and go to a closing table. Even we can, obviously, we've learned that remote closings are very possible in the last couple of months. But only tell people this if it's 100% true. Like I said, I mean, it is more important than ever to be 100% honest and transparent with your clients. And then philosophical beliefs, the American dream, reaffirming that the dream of owning your own home. And that may look a little different now than it did a couple of years ago. I think people are kind of shying away from that as being the American dream, but still, I mean, reaffirm that the dream of home ownership is alive and well. And then life is better with a new home, that happiness starts at home, and that starts with the perfect home, and how you're going to help that individual find that perfect home and find that place that they can start building a family in. These philosophies about life and real estate can be yours, what you truly believe. Use words such as ought and shouldn't. And then we're going to go to promotional, and this is going to be where a lot of you guys could start producing content right off the bat without having to create too many different videos. So some real easy assets to have are any new listings that you've got, any open houses, neighborhood reviews and stories. Sorry for the misspelling of neighborhood there, guys. And any lead magnets. So we want to increase desires for people wanting to buy or sell, and show them that this isn't something, I mean, such as mortgage rates, how they are right now. I mean, this is something that's going to go away. They're not always going to be the best rates that they possibly have ever been. Instill that fear of loss in them. Desire, aspired identity, lifestyle, desired situation, paint their dream life. And we're going to go into storytelling in next week's webinar. And that's going to be a lot about that whole paint their dream life scenario. And then fear of loss, opportunity, cost, and create a sense of urgency. So with us, promotional content, we do a ton of just listed. We do a ton of under contract posts. We do a ton of just sold posts. Anything that you do as a real estate agent in your daily life, an inspection, take some photos during an inspection, make content out of that. I mean, we don't have to create. All we have to do is document our daily life. And then some of the tools that we're going to use to do this, like I briefly mentioned, the storytelling, we're going to dive real deep into that next week. And then just providing your clients with different educational tools, whether that's Zoom calls with your clients, whether that's a first-time home buyer's guide in a PDF format, whatever sort of way that you guys can provide education to your clients. And then kind of to recap on everything we did. So content, not just social media posts, emails, videos, blogs, articles, lead magnets, that's all going to be considered content, and it's all going to be a super beneficial way to get your brand out there. But it should be based on engineering belief and giving people that mental shift in their beliefs in order to exchange value with you. Engineering beliefs around yourselves, themselves, their situations, philosophical beliefs, and beliefs about the neighborhood and home. And then tools to use for your content are storytelling and education. And like I said, in the coming weeks, we're going to dive real deep into all of that. So you guys are going to understand the whole storytelling on a lot deeper level than you probably do right now. But what that's going to look like is essentially taking somebody through the process of buying a home and framing it in a way like, hey, we started off here. This was the issue that our client was having. The house was just too small, just recently had a couple kids, and it's created a huge problem with them in their current rental. So they contacted us. We've helped them along the way. We came across a few struggles along the way. We had some hiccups here, and here, but in the end, they had a life-changing moment. They bought their first home, and this is what it's done for them. And creating a story and painting a picture of what that entire process looked like in a video and how much more powerful that can be than just posting a simple post about, hey, congratulations, so-and-so. And obviously we don't have the time in the day to storytell every scenario out there, but by learning how to storytell, it's going to be a very powerful step for you guys. And then the action step, like I said, I've got a false beliefs worksheet that I am going to drop in the chat box right after this. And then I will also email it to you guys so that you guys can work through that and understand things a little further on that side of things. And that is all that I've got. So now I'm going to send it back to Tony, and we're gonna answer any questions. Actually, we'll send it over to Tony Camilleri first, and then we'll ask questions after he's done sharing. So without further ado, let's send it over to Tony C.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yes, I can, sir.
All right, cool. I'm gonna, let's see. It says I can't start. I need to, I guess you have to unshare, and then I can share the screen here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. All right, cool. Okay, guys, real quick before I actually get started, man, that was some great training. You guys are getting the best from these guys, man. Know what they're doing. Obviously, they're just crushing it with the social media marketing and video marketing and content creation. And we just appreciate all you guys for doing this every week, man. It's so valuable. Definitely want to get on. Before I get started talking about my topic right now, I want to offer you guys the opportunity. If you have clients that are challenged with credit, you know, I've worked with a credit repair company based out of Farmington Hills, and we actually more than doubled our size in the last 45 days. It's amazing. We operate all over the country, but people are in a position where they really are focused on getting their credit fixed. People have slowed down a little bit because they don't have the opportunities for socialization and, you know, obviously shopping and doing all those other things. They're focused on getting their credit fixed. And so we have a great service. If you ever have anybody like that, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help get them started, because we have a great program that's comprehensive in helping clean up credit, but also to build positive credit history. And it's, you know, some people just they've got so much going on. They need a little direction and help, or a service to help them out with that. And we've been doing it for 16 years, and just thought I'd just mention that real quick to get started, because I know we're seeing a lot of that right now. But I'll go into this. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but here I'm just excited to always share this information. I apologize. I'm not going to put it in presentation mode, because I'm actually going to skip through a few of these just to get through it. But for those of you that aren't familiar, you know, Chris, Ryan, and Tony work with eXp Realty and myself. I've been with the company about 3.5 years. It's been the best decision I've ever made in real estate. Been with RE/MAX most of my career, worked for several different independent brokers. And this has just been the best opportunity I've ever seen in the industry. At eXp is, you know, I'll go through, you know, some of the benefits that we have, but we've just seen some of the top agents and brokers and real estate coaches coming over to our company. And here's a few of the reasons why. One is lead generation. You know, obviously leads is one of the biggest reasons agents leave companies, believe it or not. A lot of times they think it's compensation, but it's because they leave for the illusion that the broker is going to provide them leads. Now, if you've been in real estate for any length of time, you know you're not going to live off of any, no broker is going to feed you all your leads to live off of. They may throw you a bone here or there, but that's our job. Our job is actually to create customers, right? That's really what we are as realtors. The showing houses and that is kind of like the after effect. That's the easy part. So we do have a lead generation platform used by through KV Core. A lot of companies are using this, but their agents have to pay several $100s, up to $500 to $600 a month to use it. We get it as a part of our program and our technology fee. So it's a great system. It also serves as a CRM. We do have a lot of training. Now, this is a lot of misinformation out there about our company. Obviously, a lot of brokers aren't happy. I mean, obviously, any company comes into a market and starts, really creating a stir. I mean, we're growing faster than any real estate company ever has. There's a lot of different information out there, but we provide 40 plus hours of live training every week in our cloud campus. This is training provided by top producing agents. One of my big pet peeves in the real estate industry is a lot of these companies just provide you this canned training by people that haven't even sold real estate in 20 or 30 years, right? Teachers, they say people that teach can't do or something like that. I messed that quote up. But, this is a deal where so many people go into training because they really weren't good at selling real estate. Whereas here, EXP puts people that are actually in the field selling and producing and teaching exactly what they're doing. So you can access that right from your computer, so you can do it in the convenience of wherever you are. Now, the third one is, I think this is one of the big reasons why a lot of big top producers are coming over to our company. We're actually seeing a lot of brokers coming over to EXP because it offers them our revolutionary revenue share model, our stock, which gives them the lifestyle of time and freedom. We all work really hard. Real estate's awesome. And some people, I know, as Ryan said, I'm going to sell till the day I die, right? He loves it. And, a lot of people are like that, but there's many that say, listen, I want to at some point be able to slow down or even stop. So what if you had the ability to create some income? And we're going to talk about that outside of you selling. And, God forbid anything were to happen to you, you get sick or just get an injury where you can't go walk and physically show the houses. It's great to have a backup plan. Now, this is just a quick illustration. EXP is now the fastest growing company. It was RE/MAX, then Keller Williams held it all the way up until just a few years ago. They did 5,000 agents in 10 years. EXP has grown to over 23,000 agents in 10 years. Phenomenal growth record. Why is that? Well, it's because of the things that we're offering. Now, I'd like to really kind of skip through. I mean, this is a good illustration of what's going on. I think we're all familiar with this, right? Every industry is changing dramatically. Obviously what, you guys just heard today in the training platform is that business is changing. How business is being done has changed. And you can see through these different examples, right? Technology is taking over and real estate's no different, and so people aren't really interested in, coming to the office too often, although some do. Most people are out, they're running, they're busy. They just want to go to the house. They don't want to come meet you anywhere. They don't want to come to an office. Realtors are on the fly. They're not really sitting in offices typically. If they go, they're in and out. So if even we have offices, they're much smaller nowadays than they ever were before, which saves money. Now, EXP, I'm going to go through and kind of skip to here to just get to the point. We are international, so I will point out that we're in all 50 states. We are in the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada. So company is definitely expanding aggressively all over the world. We do have, our platform is based on a cloud-based platform, meaning this is that we don't traditionally have offices. Now, Chris, Tony, and Ryan do have a small office. They do, they have the ability for people to come in, agents to come in and get trained, and clients to meet there and do closings. But many of our EXP agents don't even have offices. So you have the ability to do one or the other, but our corporate doesn't even have a headquarters, meaning all the employees work from home, which what that means for us as agents is there's more money to share with us. Okay. So we've eliminated that expense. Now, Because of that, we have a transaction management system so that all of your deals are uploaded through SkySlope. So it's very efficient. If you're at closing or not at closing, it doesn't matter. That money will get deposited into your account. We do stay very connected. As I mentioned, most agents are working from home, but we stay connected through Workplace by Facebook. This is phenomenal. We have hundreds and hundreds of groups in here that gives you the information that you need in real estate to stay connected. Lots of referrals are passed through this Facebook platform because we stay connected with agents all over the country. And I'm going to explain to you why we are one of the most collaborative real estate companies, I believe, ever, and it's due to compensation, and I'll show you what that is. Now, marketing and branding, I want to mention this really quick because with EXP, and a lot of companies are moving towards this, but we are certainly agent focused. Even top brokers are coming over to our company because they realize they can maintain the brand that they developed, their logo, their colors, all of that they can keep, but they're brokered by EXP. Obviously, due to legalities on signage, that has to be right. But when people put out marketing materials, they don't regulate that. So you could have a business card that's pretty much you, right? And then EXP just has to show up on the card. But it's definitely focused on marketing you as the agent. I will say, mention a little bit about our production. If you haven't heard about EXP, I'm surprised if you haven't, but we are quickly moving to the top of production all over the country. San Antonio is a massive market. We're the #2 brokerage in San Antonio. So it's definitely something where we're on the map now, expanding rapidly throughout the country. I will mention real quick on some of the fees. This is another thing that's misunderstood, but it's pretty simple. We're on a no royalty fees, desk fees, or franchise fees. We're on an 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. So once you've done 2.66 million, you're at 100%. You receive 100% of your commission after that. Then we just have a $250 transaction fee. Again, that fee comes in after you hit your cap. And at that point, if you've done 20 transactions, then you're actually, that $250 drops to $75. So definitely really cool. Now, if you charge transaction fees or compliance fees to your client, that is treated as commission. So you get 80% of that, 20% goes towards your cap. So that money's never really a fee, it's just going towards commission. It's $149 to sign up with us and $85 a month. Our only other fees are $25 per deal for the broker review and $40 for your E&O insurance. The E&O does cap out after 12 transactions. So basically, other than your $85 a month and your 80-20 split, it's only $65, and after 12 deals drops to $25 per deal. Now, let's look at really what is one of the biggest reasons we're seeing such large teams, top brokers, top agents coming over, is that where they're at right now, they have no equity, right? They have there's no retirement strategy. What are they going to do if they need to tap into some resources economically? So we are traded on EXPI. EXPI is the ticker. So we are NASDAQ. It's been incredible for myself. I know that I've been with the company 3.5 years. I've accumulated over $30,000 in stock that I've been given. So that's just if I was at RE/MAX, I wouldn't have got that. Keller Williams, I wouldn't have got that. It's just an added benefit. Now, how do we get stock? Well, there's 3 different ways. You get stock when you close your first transaction. You get stock when you hit your cap, which means if you're a producer and this is what you do full time, I'm assuming you're going to do at least 2.7 million, you get more shares of stock. If you refer someone to the company, you get shares of stock when they close a transaction. And then we have an Icon Agent Award program. This is something, Ryan is in the Icon status. I mean, with the production that he does. And I believe actually Chris and Tony as well are headed there. This means this: when you do 2.66 million, close 20 transactions after that, you now get back all of the money that you paid in that split. The 16,000 comes back to you in the form of stock. So again, answering the question, well, why would somebody that's doing so well at another company leave? Well, because they're paying that company a lot of money, and here at EXP, they can get it all back. And not only get it back, but get it in the form of stock, which the way things are going with our company, we're debt-free, we're expanding nationally, we're maintaining costs. There's a good chance that stock could go up, so you could actually earn money by working with the company. We do have an agent equity program, and I'm going to show you an example of how this works, but basically it's optional, this piece here. You can buy stock at a 5% out of each commission. You get it at a discount, 10% discount, And that is stock that you could sell immediately once you buy it. Now I'm going to give you a quick example here with Tracy. She is one of my mentors. She owned a Century 21 office, was a number 4 office for 8 years. And then she was a number 1 recruiter at Keller Williams in 2012. Well, she left those companies and she's came over to EXP. She took 5% of her commissions, bought stock at the time she got it at a 20% discount, but she had 6,600 shares. She paid $12,498 for that stock. Now, mind you, she would have given that money to, Keller Williams or Century 21 or Remax. They all have franchise fees. She would have given that 6% away with 0 return, just as a fee. Well, she took that money, bought her stock in herself, right, with EXP, cost her 12 grand. That stock went up to $56,000 minus the 12 she spent. She made $43,000. And that's just when the stock is at $842. So imagine when that stock travels up to $10, $12, $15, $20, what that return is. Now, you have to ask yourself, well, do I keep paying money out to get no return? Or if I knew that I could have that money and give me a return on my investment, which is the better way to go? Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you here. Tracy also earned stock. So she earned 12,000 shares of stock by those avenues that I told you about, by referring people to the company, hitting her cap, closing transactions. That now is worth $101,000. Mind you, you gotta understand, she was given this. She didn't pay for this stock. This is what's given to you through our program. And again, I won't go through all the details, but that's just how she's been able to accumulate through both avenues $84,000, because 101 is not totally vested yet. So I'll explain. She's 40,000 of that is hers right now. It takes 3 years to vest that money. So that'll eventually get up there. But as of 8 months ago, she was at $84,000 that she's up just from the stock equity program. And so I'll wrap up here with just telling you a little bit about our RevShare program. This is a revolutionary platform. A lot of people confuse it. They say it's the same as other companies that have a program that pay out profit sharing and things like that. But it's actually, the return concept is the same, but the money isn't the same. With EXP, our money is paid because I mentioned we cut out so much of the expenses. Our program is able to pay out more money. So what this is, you actually earn revenue on 7 different levels. What this means is if you refer an agent to the company, so you are here in the green, you refer any agent to the company, you're going to get up to 3.5% of their gross commission. You'll get paid out. Okay. That goes up to $2,800 per year for each agent. There's no limit on the number of people that you can bring in. Now, if you bring in 5 people, that opens up tier 2 and you get paid up to $3,200 on that second level. So guys, basically all this means is that if you refer people to the company, you are going to get paid a referral fee ongoing as long as they're with the company. And then it just caps out each year because the agent has a cap. This gets very misunderstood. It's funny when brokers actually have a problem with our program because their very job every day they wake up is to recruit a realtor. They are in a constant recruiting mode so that they can keep their doors open and they can make money. Well, why would it be a bad thing if you as the agent had the same ability to refer people to the company so that you could create income for yourself, right? Why be selfish? Everyone should have the same ability to do that. And that's what EXP offers. And so as long as you have 5 people on your first level, you open up tier 2, and then you just need 5 more people personally enrolled to open up each tier down to level 7. So let me explain how this money comes to you, or what the example would be. Let's say you recruit Skip. Okay, he's a real guy down in South Florida. He has a client named Pat who closes on a $600,000 house. Skip earned 18 grand. Well, he pays his 20% to EXP, and out of that 20% that EXP collected, they're going to pay you $630. Every time Skip closes a deal, you're going to get that money until you hit 2,800, and then it just flips over just like a cap in the following year. So again, guys, the concept's pretty simple. It's really easy to learn. I could talk to you more if you have questions about it, but I can just give you, an example that I've actually been able to create a 6-figure residual income from this revenue share platform in less than 3 years. It's been phenomenal going through this quarantine and not being able to sell as many houses. I think they said Sales are down 46% right now in residential. My check hasn't gone down because I'm leveraged throughout the United States, and my residual check has kept pace. So it's just another thing. We never know what's going to happen, regardless of a pandemic. We all go through situations. I've talked to so many realtors that are like, oh, I was off last year taking care of my mom or my daughter, or I got sick. Guys, life happens. I just challenge you to think about, what if you, while building your real estate, talking to realtors anyway, could just add a way that you could create equity through the stock program and create a revenue through our residual income by referring agents to the company. The very thing that brokers do every day, the very thing that team leaders do every day, right? And it's funny when they, and I'll just be honest and transparent. Some people, they knock our program down because, we're doing so well, I guess is the deal, but it's the very same thing that they're doing in their business each day. Dave Gagnon, I'll just point out a couple people here real quick. This gentleman, he said no to EXP like a lot of people do because he was a rockin' team leader at Keller Williams, 2006. He had launched 7 offices, was crushing it, said no, but 6 months later, someone asked him again, and he's like, let me look at this thing. With no intention of joining, he's now made a residual income that's absolutely out of this world, and he doesn't sell real estate anymore. Okay, he lives a lifestyle of freedom. He's just on the beach, traveling, having great time because he created that in just a very short couple of years. Bob Mangold was the fastest growing exit franchise owner, had 2 of them, and he left, and now he's created a massive income through EXP. And the key is, guys, here, like a broker, you have to run the office. With EXP, you have no responsibility. The company takes care of all the headaches, all of the costs, all of the administration. You just sell real estate, share the opportunity with people, and have the ability to make income. So that's my presentation. I want to just get through it real quick and just expose you to what we have, give you some pointers on, what we're really about. Our company has got incredible culture. We really are supportive of one another. I mentioned our collaboration. Because of our stock position and our ownership position with the stock, agents are incredibly conscious about referring inside of the company, which means if you're a part of it and you network throughout the company, you will get referrals because people want to stay in the family because it obviously helps our revenue, which helps our stock value as well. So it's just a great situation to be in. And not only do they share referrals, but they share information, which is going to help you to obviously, grow your business. And so that way, we really hear from a lot of great people. Icon agents actually train every Friday in our cloud-based campus. Those icons obviously are high producers telling you exactly what they're doing, and you can ask them questions. I always ask people, if you have a top producer in your office doing 10 or 20 million, they're not going to sit down with you every Friday and talk to you and answer questions, right? They're busy. They have no incentive to do that. At EXP, you're able to access that type of information. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. I'm really excited about what we're doing. I've never been as happy as I've been working with EXP. And, I think it's just an exciting place to be. It's a part of history. Again, you can join, you can sign up. We have 1 cap. If you're licensed in multiple states, you get 1 cap. A lot of people are moving to Florida or Arizona, working that during the winter. Well, you can work for 1 company and save money on those expenses. But that's it. If you have any questions, please get with Chris, Tony, or Ryan. And then I'm obviously available if you need anything. But you guys stay safe out there. Make it a great day, and let's have a great summer. All right, guys. Thanks, Chris. I'll turn it back to you.
Tony, you are the man. Thanks for joining us every week. I know coming from Remax to EXP, man, it's been a game changer. And, EXP offers so many things. And, we're not here to try and sell people that aren't part of EXP. We just want to let everyone know it really is a no-brainer for agents today. And the biggest thing I would say I would love about EXP besides, the revenue share and the stocks is SkySlope. It keeps you so organized. I suck at organization. Thanks, Michelle, for keeping my SkySlope organized. Shout out to you. But if anyone has any questions, I just want to thank you guys for being here. We're going to open it up to questions for Chris. I know I have one real quick to start off with. Chris, I know a lot of people, they get confused on should they post business stuff? Should they post their personal life? Should you balance it? What's the answer for that? What do you recommend?
Both. Obviously, like we've got our business page, and then we each have our individual pages as well. So I do personally, we do mainly business with an occasional personal post on the business page itself. And then on my individual pages, as well as Tony and Ryan's, I think all three of us are doing a lot of business posts, but then a lot of personal posts as well. Same thing with Michelle. Michelle's got a couple pages that she focuses on pretty heavily. And then Phil is kind of getting a little more into the Instagram and Facebook side of things recently. But yeah, I mean, mixing it up, showing people that you are a real individual that has a real life. I mean, that's a lot of the stuff that people like to see that most realtors don't show. So, I mean, it's pretty powerful when you put out there. I mean, you playing with your dog Chapo. I mean, every post that you make with Chapo does really well. Me playing with my son Kid. I mean, stuff like that is something that people want to see. If a client is working with you, they're interested in you as a person, not just you as a professional, or at least in my opinion, that's the case.
That's what I'm talking about. Cool, guys. Anyone else have any questions? No? All right. Well, you guys go enjoy this day, sell some houses, and please join us next week. We're going to dive into a little bit about storytelling, and the process of, putting that content out there from the beginning to the end and how to really get your audience engaged. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Have an awesome week. See you next week. Peace.